Hello, everybody. Thanks for hopping on. We'll give it a couple more seconds as we wait for some more people to join. Really appreciate you guys joining today. We're super excited for this webinar. My name is McLean Keene. I lead the marketing team here at Bandwango. And I also have my wonderful colleague, Caitlin Eady, on as well. And she's going to be talking through all things marketing. We're going to cover a lot today. We're going to introduce our new marketing services first, and then we're also going to be breaking down why marketing matters, and then also what happens when it's done well. All right, so we've got a packed agenda. I'm going to start off with just kind of a brief introduction of our newest launch, which is our marketing services, which I are so excited to talk about. We're also going to talk through why it's important to market your pass. We'll also go through some best practices and real-time client examples. Caitlin will touch on some recommended engagement strategies. And then we'll also go through Bandwango data, like what's available to you and how to use it. And then at the very end, we'll go through the marketing services in a little bit more detail, and we'll talk through some next steps if you guys are interested. All right. So we are so excited for these marketing services. This has been something that our partners have been asking for, and we've really been wanting to do it for a long time. So what these are is a full list of tailored marketing solutions designed to amplify your pass's visibility, engagement, and overall performance. We know that you guys are busy. We want to kind of help take some of that off of your plate, help alleviate some of that pressure of marketing by offering these services. So like I said, at the very end, we're going to go over this full list into detail. We'll talk through everything, so stay tuned if you want to know more. But for now, we want to talk about marketing and explain kind of why it's important to market your pass. All right, so marketing is a very critical driver of pass success, and we have 3 key ideas that we want to talk through today. All the passes that we see, the partners that we work with that are super successful tend to follow these 3 ideas, and we broke them down. So that is that visibility drives engagement, marketing fuels momentum, and then better marketing leads to more data, which is going to give you stronger results. All right, so this may seem basic, but the biggest thing for us to understand is that there needs to be an active effort to drive pass visibility. Our most successful passes make a very conscious effort to make their passes seen. Obviously, people can't sign up for what they don't know exists. This is always done through a lot of different ways, but the second point is that you have to meet people where they are. Sometimes this means promoting on social media or at events, but we also know that people aren't always actively looking for your pass. They may not go into Google and type in your pass name. So sometimes this means that you need to be, using the right keywords, utilizing SEO so that you can show up as a solution to their problem or help them kind of understand what they should be looking for, even if they may not know it. So again, lots of different ways, but showing up where they are. The last really important idea that we want to highlight here is that you need to showcase the value of your pass clearly and quickly. So you want to appeal fast. You can see on the right, we included some words here in a word cloud, but we always recommend using very simple and very engaging messages to not only capture their attention, but to hold it as well. Okay, so secondly is that marketing fuels momentum. So your goal here should be to get from a one-time sign up or a one-time download to that long-term loyalty. Obviously, we all know that launch day is super important. And sometimes, honestly, the launch of your pass can be the easiest part. There's teasers, you're kind of leading up to something. You're getting your audience excited. But what comes after that launch day is just as important. And it's essential not to just push it once and then leave it, but actually, partake in consistent marketing around your pass. This can kind of look, we have, again, so many people doing different things. It can look however you want it to look like. Maybe you include it in a monthly newsletter, or you consistently are running campaigns throughout the year, or maybe you post it on social every other month. But you do need to remind people consistently of its existence. So I added this graph here on the right side. You can kind of see that initial launch, so that drives a big spike at first, but then there's a sharp drop after that initial exposure and then a slower decline over time. So remarketing is going to be, what will continue to keep people signing up, checking in, continue to get people redeeming your pass. Along those same lines, we recommend multiple marketing pushes. So you can avoid that attention drop off by continuing to remind your audience of your offer. We know that attention can drop off without reinforcement. So this is a really great way to use like seasonal refreshes or different campaigns. If you have new partnerships, if you're adding new participants to your pass, keep your audience in the loop when you make those changes. And it's going to kind of, keep that marketing consistent. Lastly, we recommend to use what's already happening. This is a really something I love to recommend because you can take advantage of things that exist. So changing seasons, holidays, events, maybe there's a community that's already established, but you can capitalize on that engagement that is already in existence. So this is another reason why things like annual passes or even just pass refreshes year over year are great, because you're not having to start completely over. You're not reinventing the wheel. You're getting to rebuild on community and excitement that you've already created. All these things, help drive momentum. They're going to help build loyalty and eventually turn your consumers into long-term advocates. The last key point here is that better marketing is going to give you more data, which in turn leads to stronger results. So really, data is the key thing that's going to turn your good marketing into great marketing. And we'll talk about this more later on, but as kind of an overview, the better your marketing is, it's going to drive more engagement. So the better your marketing, the more engagement you'll get, which also will give you more data. This seems pretty basic, but the more signups, the more check-ins, the more redemptions that you get, the more data you're going to collect. So you'll have access to more first-party consumer data, and this is what you see on the right side of this phone screen. This is, first name, last name, email, zip, everything that you're going to gather when someone first signs up for your pass. You also get location data. So this tells you, what region, what area people are coming from. You'll get behavior insights, which is where people are checking into, what they're redeeming, and then top performing prizes and incentives. So you can kind of, take note of which offers are driving the most check-ins and redemptions. And then you can also conduct A/B tests. So tons of data. And we'll recommend to actually look at this data to optimize your pass over time. The second point is that more data is going to lead to smarter strategies. So use these insights from user behavior to refine your targeting even more, create additional audiences, improve your messaging, and enhance your pass offers. So the data you get is really only going to improve your marketing efforts. And then lastly, all of this in turn is going to lead to stronger results over time. So these data-driven insights are going to help you create long-term audiences, loyal advocates, and then ultimately help you prove your impact to your stakeholders. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin. She is going to talk through some marketing best practices and tell us where we've seen success with our own partners.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm the marketing coordinator here at Bandwango, and I assist and help educate our partners in marketing their passes. Let's dive into how you can make your pass successful without a big budget. Great marketing does not have to cost a lot. It's all about being strategic. So first up, we're going to be talking about earned media. So earned media is any exposure that you don't pay for. So think press coverage, blog features, user-generated content, things like that. This helps build trust through third-party voices. It drives word of mouth, and it gets your pass in front of new audiences. A great example is the Detroit Pizza Pass. Stories about it appeared in the New York Post, Yahoo, and more, totaling over 100 million impressions overall. And this was all through earned media without any paid promotion. Okay, so now we went through earned media. So let's dive into owned media. So this is another free way to market your pass. Owned media includes anything that you fully control. So your organization's website, emails, newsletter, social post. This channel is going to be always available. It's free to use, and it's going to be great for direct engagement and retention. Let's take a look at Travel Nevada's Sagebrush Saloon Pass. This is a great example of their email newsletter. They actually combine pass descriptions, a pass-related video, and local content into one cohesive message. And it also guides users with a clear call to action to sign up for their pass. I will say it is important to scope out your target audience so that you are promoting on the right channels. You don't want to promote on Facebook when your primary audience is on TikTok. All right, so we learned about owned media, and now we're moving forward to paid. Paid media includes any content that you pay to promote, things like meta ads, Google display ads, sponsored posts. Unlike the earned and organic media, this is where you control placement and reach by investing ad dollars. It's great for targeting specific audiences and quickly driving that traffic. For example, Visit Mobiles ran ads for their Mardi Gras experience pass through Meta and saw 183 pass downloads from just one short campaign with a 5% conversion rate. What's cool is that they didn't even have like a very large budget. They spent under $1,000 and were able to see over 100,000 impressions. And while conversions are important, remember that every one of those impressions is brand exposure. That 100,000 people, they now know about that pass. They now know it exists. So similar to owned, platforms really matter here. And we want to show up and spend our money where we know like our audience is looking. You've launched your pass. Now what? The key is keeping your audience engaged and active. So let's talk about a few ways to do that. In-pass and email ads. So you can add banners inside the pass itself or send ads and confirmation emails that users receive when they sign up for your pass. Both are going to be powerful tools to engage users immediately after sign up. And something to remember is that engagement doesn't just mean in-pass actions. It can also include offline engagement like brand awareness, event promotion, anything that you can think of, interaction on social media. With Bandwango's reporting dashboard, you can even track your ad performance, like impressions and clicks to actually see what's working. Next is targeted messaging. With messaging, you have the ability to send both emails and text messages directly to pass holders who have opted in. So these are going to be perfect for promoting events, driving redemptions, or cross-promoting other passes. Whatever you can think of in relation to your passes. The Visit Arizona team sent a cross-promotion text for National Plan for Vacation Day, encouraging locals to take a quick daycation to one of Arizona's featured pass locations. And this was sent to pass holders across all Arizona passports and led to a whopping 54 additional signups for them. This is a great example of how text messaging is it's a low effort strategy with high impact. We have recently launched our managed messaging service where we can do all of this for you. So if interested, please reach out to our team to learn more.
Perfect. Yes, reach out to our team. We're super excited about this platform. It's kind of another way to help with engagement and pass, and then also really just take some effort off of your hands, and we can manage it from our team internally. Okay, so I want to talk about Bandwango data. This is always kind of a big question mark for people. And I think the $1 million question is, what do I do with all of this data? And we're going to talk through some different strategies of how you can use it to make your pass more successful. So with Bandwango, you get access to 4 kinds of data. You get consumer data, newsletter opt-ins, redemption and usage data, and then website data. This is all so valuable because we've talked about this before, but this new data capture is going to lead to more effective marketing. All of this data is going to allow you to prove your marketing ROI. So you can actually prove and show that you're sending people in dollars into local businesses. You can measure the impact of specific initiatives like DEI or organization-specific programs. You can increase engagement and membership with local businesses. And then lastly, you have the ability to actually quantify your visitor data, which is huge for DMOs. It can be a really tricky thing to do. But with these passes and with the data, you can actually put a number behind that visitor data and where you're putting those visitors. All right, so I want to walk through these in a little bit more detail. These are, the different types of data listed out. We can talk through them, like where to find them and how to use them. So the first one is consumer data. So this is any data that you're going to get during that pass sign up process. This is everything we showed on that phone screen. You get the name, the email, the phone number, and the zip. There's tons of different ways to use this data. We recommend creating, different audience lists with those exact people, and then you can use that in your marketing. You can engage specific people who maybe haven't started or completed their pass. You can see where, users are coming from, and then you can also target them with ads by their region using those zip codes. Tons of different ways, but that's just kind of a high-level overview. For newsletter opt-ins, so again, this is going to be something that you acquire during pass sign up. So this is when a user is signing up for your pass. There's that checkbox they can click that opts them into external marketing efforts from your organization. So these are opt-ins that you can use in your own marketing efforts. This is really helpful for growing your newsletter list. It's also great to take this list. You can build lookalike audiences for future paid marketing campaigns. So you can take this list of people that you know are interested in your data. You can create an audience that looks like them, and then you can use this in your future marketing. Redemption and usage data. So this is everything that you're going to find in the Bandwango backend under that reporting tab. So this will show you, past performance, redemptions, and accounting data. So basically, this tells us how people are using your pass, if they're redeeming coupons at local businesses and which ones, where they're checking in to earn prizes. It's going to be an overview of all of your past performance. This is also great for identifying maybe top performing locations to spotlight in your marketing, maybe even underperforming locations that you can then, turn some of that spotlight onto them. It's helpful for similarly, like if you want to increase marketing in those underserved areas, you can do that. You can segment audiences based on their consumer behavior. And then you can also export reports to show ROI and campaign impact to stakeholders. There is so much data that you get access to in the Bandwango backend. Again, our team is here as a resource. So if you ever have questions about it or want to craft a good strategy to use that data, reach out to our team. The last point is website data. So this is going to be all of the data that you see in your Google Analytics account. So we have a unique package of Bandwango tags and triggers that our marketing team can set up on your account to show how people are interacting with your pass. So it'll show us conversion metrics for your pass and then also activity on your website. I love GA4. This is obviously helpful for assessing any kind of general marketing performance, ad performance, any social media performance, but it's really also great for understanding how people came to your pass page. You can track that consumer journey. You can find those top performing or high traffic website pages and mention your pass there. So it's a really great way to understand kind of your website health and what things are performing, and then include pass mentions on those pages. One of our wonderful partners, Visit Lex, they had physical passports. Because it was physical, they had no way to track which murals on their pass were being visited or even how pass holders were engaging with their pass. So they really benefited from our reporting. They're able to track check-ins to see which murals were most popular. They use data to update their guide to street art and inform their social content. And then it also helped them to streamline prize fulfillment and reporting. All of this, they were able to see almost a 5,000% increase in their mural challenge redemptions after going digital with Bandwango. Okay, we have talked a lot about marketing. We've given a very high level of why it's important. Now we're really excited to talk through our Bandwango marketing services and talk through these more in detail. And So here is a list of everything that we offer. You guys can see that on the left side, these are our recommended packages. These are things that will help you with the launch of your pass. So if you're just starting out, you have a pass that's about to launch, maybe hasn't yet, these things are going to be really impactful. You can see the pass design collateral. So if you've created a pass, you know that there are certain kind of graphical elements that are required when you do launch that pass. And instead of having to create those and maybe get a design team to do that, we can now do that for you. And that's a really nice package to have as you're first launching your pass. The next two are both announcement packages. We have one for organic media and one for paid media. So say you wanted to focus solely on organic media, this is going to include social posts. We'll handle the design and the copywriting of these posts, press releases, just things that are really going to help get the word out. And then the paid package is very similar, except it focuses on actual ads. So if you want to put some money behind, some ads to, again, get the word out, tell people about the launch of your pass, you can do that through this as well. The last one is this partner kit, and we are basically just going to provide different graphics to provide to maybe your participating locations or your partners. And again, we always recommend, if you can, to have your participating locations or your merchants or whoever is included on your pass to help you do some of that marketing, because they're able to reach audiences that you may not have access to. So this is really helpful too, because it basically provides them with what they need to be able to market that pass as well. You can see on the right side, so this is like our menu style a la carte services. We have it broken down into copywriting and strategy. And then we have design services on the right, which a lot of you guys are familiar with because it's something that we've offered in the past. So for copywriting and strategy, we can write blog posts, press releases. All of this can kind of, it's on a, you can kind of pick the level of which you want to do it at. So we can provide just copy and links for a press release, but we also have the ability to go out and do actual researching, find people to kind of distribute these press releases to. It really just depends on the level of effort which you want to commit to. We also do email marketing, which we've seen so much success with our current partners with emails. And again, this is a really great way to use the data points that you already have. So use those audience lists and then remarket back to them or create audiences that are similar to them with email marketing. We have both paid social strategy and organic social strategy, and then you can also include asset design. So say you have a design team, you really just want help understanding when to post, what audiences to target, what to say, we can do that. And then we can also supplement designs as needed. The last thing, kind of alongside a paid social strategy, is we can run Google paid search campaigns as well. So this is going to include some keyword research, all of the copywriting that's necessary, and the full setup on your platform. And we can manage this for you as well. For design services, there's quite a few options here too. So you have the option for different logo designs. We see partners come to us and they create their own logo, or say they want something that is a little bit more advanced, which is not just your organization's logo and then the name of your pass, but something that's very specific and unique to the actual pass. We have the ability to create both of those. Both of those things include multiple different options for your logos. So there's a lot of flexibility to kind of guide what you want that to look like. And then a couple ad designs as well. So static and video. These are both for either social media or ads. So like we said, if you don't want the strategy piece and you just want the design, we can do that as well. And then lastly, you can see those print design assets, which this is something that we have offered in the past. We're really excited about the way that we're going about this now. But a lot of clients love these. Really important to have a presence at your participating locations or in your visitor center. So we're able to take QR codes, with tracking links and create posters or coasters or whatever you want that to be. We have the ability to do that as well. We are super excited about these. This is something, like I said, that we've been thinking about wanting to do for a long time. So if you are interested, you can scan this QR code, which links directly to an initial kickoff call where we can kind of talk, understand your goals, understand what passes you're launching, and then help craft something together. If you're not ready for that meeting, if you have questions, if you would like to see the full broken down list with just the pricing, you can also just email success@bandwango.com. We can answer any questions that you may have. But we are really excited. Please reach out. We're happy to send over any additional information. We're happy to just schedule a call to talk through it together. Caitlin and I are here as a resource. We want to help you craft your strategy. So please reach out to our team. Right. I know that was a kind of a quick overview. We are, recording this webinar. We'll be sure to put it up on our website and get it up there. If you weren't able to join today, we'll also be sending out the recording. But we really appreciate everybody joining today. And again, if you have any questions, please let us know. I added our emails to this slide. And we hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and we will see you at the next webinar.